And we are off with some
Was,
slight technical difficulties here on Run for the Roses. It is season 34 in the photo finish game, and I am joined by my esteemed colleague, breeder of the season 29 Kentucky Derby champion. He's ready to gig, and the man in the desert, Mr. Scott Bowser. New intro. How'd you like it?
I like it. I like it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all your applause. I appreciate it. Yeah. You weren't expecting
that bit went off as well as you could have hoped.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I forgot I had that sound bite. So
how happy Thursday, happy week 2 in the game photo finish.
Yep. I'm pumped.
How are we feeling? We have a loaded show.
Yeah, a lot to get to.
But which, by the way, this is probably the best time of the year because it's Bowser just talking about having sweet horse sex and making new horses. But we have a ton to talk about with the breeding. That will probably be the bulk of the show. We also have we're gonna do some defining up top. Bowser's got some. Bowser's been deep in the lab. I'll say that he's been hitting me up with ideas a lot over the last week. So I'll let him explain what he's about to do, and then we'll finish the show out with some Breeders' Cup picks, and of course, always football picks here on the on Run for the Roses on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Bowser,
yes.
So, like I said, we're gonna get to breeding, but you had some light bulb moments. I don't know what you call them in the horse world, but some breakthrough moments of thought on your ride home from work throughout the week, and you immediately picked up the telephone to call me and said we have to do this or think about that. So I'll give you the mic and I'll sit back and I'll listen.
Well, yesterday's call, as you know, I called and I basically said that we got to define what hitting on a horse is. And I hadn't really thought of this before, but we got to define what a legit hit on a horse is. Is it just qualifying for a major? Is it being profitable overall? Is it getting a good out like a grade roll? Is it preferences? What is hitting on a horse? And so we kind of went over it and we decided, is it an earner? Bottom line, right?
And well, what made you think about this first off? So we can,
but made me think of it. Shout out to friend of the show, Mike Sowers, for his claimer series. Cause he was talking about how he keeps track of his hit rates on each mare and stud and whatnot. And I was like, God damn it, man. He's playing the percentages perfectly on this. This is what we need to be doing. But before I can start figuring out our hit percentages on these things, we need to define what a fucking hit is.
Yeah. And so, and I think we kind of we've speculated as to what we think.
Yeah. I noticed a common thread real quick in something here.
Yeah, we've speculated that, based on some of the things I've listened to in the past with dudes in the game, and just in general, what would make sense. We've that there would be some sort of hit rate, and my speculation is that you want to hit on 20%, with maybe 20 to 30%, maybe it's 20 to 40%. So 1 or 2 out of 5. And so to Bowser's point, what does that mean? What does hitting mean? Now, I think it is a sliding scale. That's my first thought. My first thought is it's a sliding scale based on where you're at. And so if you're at the top, it's purely, are you an earner? And maybe earning is the easiest way to define it across everything, because earning can be different for the level.
Yes. You can have an S- earner, an A+ earner, it's possible.
But if we're breeding something for the top and it doesn't qualify for a major, that's probably a miss, right?
I mean, see, that's where it could be, because I don't want to be like chip or nothing kind of guy, but
qualify for the chip.
Well, Okay, but how about this? What if we run? If that's the case, but we still think it's good, then we run it back for high court stuff. And if it does okay there, then maybe we're justified.
So why don't we bring up an example? I know we were going to start.
3-year-old window, such a short window. Maybe we didn't catch it in time, so, something, but we get it right as a 4-year-old. Like we're starting to see us do that more now.
Ignore what you see on the screen. I want to show you. I want to bring up a race. I want to bring up a horse because I think we have an example to talk about. Italian American. Now, if we look at the ledger, we're minus 2,800.
Yes.
This is a horse that qualified. Let me make this a little. There you go. This is a horse that qualified for the Derby.
And was a late bloomer for us. Like we didn't really catch him. We kind of caught lightning in a bottle midway through his 3-year-old season,
And even then it was a lot of like fringe performances.
Yeah, we didn't get a win with him till age 4 season here in a high court qualifier.
Yeah. And so great qualification. Didn't have a win until 4 years old, where it is having a nice quali run for the high court. We're definitely in the mix to run for the high court. And so we have a horse here that it didn't get a win till it was 4. It qualified on the, and didn't really perform in the Derby. It's probably going to qualify for the high court. So we'll see how it does. It's negative on the ledger. That's not really a hit, right?
No, but if it wins the high court, it becomes a hit, right?
Yeah, I think it's like one of those things. There's
a podium even in the high court, I would say, it becomes a hit. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like this horse too has 7.5 stars. That's pretty good. We know it's at least competed at the grade level. My guess is this horse is missing something. And usually when a horse is really good in a lot of areas and then missing something, you have this opportunity through breeding to really focus on improving that, and you can really get something special out of the kids.
Just highlighting another Fazzoletti Rangetti.
Yeah, Dapper Dandy comes from Diaper Dandy. Shout out to Justin Decker, real diaper daddy.
If you know on that one. We got Pet Richer here. Rose, and then again on the Jerry McGee side, you of course have Casino, and you have Doug in the Sheets, who brings in product market fit. So, again, this is. I think there. You know what? I'll just say let's just hit. Let's just draw the line in the sand at 20%. So 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
And let's say this. I think part of being a hit is how, like to your point, is how you're born. The star preferences, nothing to do with your track performance at all. Do you have the requisite stars to really be able to compete at whatever level you're at? You're going to need stars to complete. The more filled up a level is, so S horses, S minus, S plus, the more those stars are going to matter. And so I think I think the first leg of the stool that is a hit is stars. It's
right.
basic,
but first thing you see, pretty much. Yeah.
So when it's born, really, we should be being more diligent to look to move on or rush to claimers, things that can't even fulfill the star requirement. So what are we putting the star threshold at? 5? So
I would go 5 if we're just talking about left dirt, just those 2 stars. Okay. You can, if you have 5 of those, you can go 0 in the firm soft, but I'm just using left dirt as an example here. This obviously applies across different things.
Yeah, but we don't care about firm or soft. We're willing to have 0 stars there. We kind of exclude it from our calculus here, right?
Kind of, yeah, because we understand that the weather percentage, it goes from 0 to 100%, with 3 stars firm being the 0 and the not 3 stars soft being the 100%. We see that there's this spectrum there. So if you're in the 1-star range, either side or the other, I don't think it's that big of a difference overall in the grand scheme of things. I mean, there is, but a good horse is a good horse there, but you need to have good, you need to be good on the other two. Also, what I like about the zeros is it allows you to breed bloodlines over from each other. So you can start getting your best left dirt firm blood and the left dirt soft and so on, you know. Like I think there's some value to that because it allows you to get really strong bloodlines into a certain discipline that might not necessarily be there much. So it keeps your blood permissiveness and diversity open.
So we'll say direction and
but I would
surface.
say overall, we're really looking for six. I mean, and I would even say 7. We really want 7 stars and up. But
I'm saying if we exclude the last 3, if we exclude the condition.
Yeah.
And we just say direction and surface.
Yes.
5 stars.
Yeah. We want at least 2.5, 2.5 or a 3-2 situation. Like,
which means we need to, so for us at SGPN stables, we need to start doing a better job of what with so the horses that are born with the lower stars, what should our plan for them be?
Well, I think it depends on the grade. For example, if it's like a high grade, like a very high subgrade S+ horse, okay, I'm okay with breeding it with a lower subgrade S+ with high stars to kind of try and balance it there, or even an S horse. Because like, okay, good example for us is on left dirt soft. We have our horse C, and C has 9 stars, right? I'm okay breeding him with the right S+ if they have lower stars, but the good grades to kind of lift him.
So it sounds like if the subgrades are useful, then maybe it's a breeding piece. But before we know about the subgrades, as far as a racing piece, we're more likely to be loose with it and run it into claimers.
Yeah.
And I think we're also, I mean, I think you're going to see us starting to list more of our horses with lower stars. So if you're looking to get a deal, I think we're going to start to become a little bit of a whole set, like the goal being movement of horses versus, I think we want to race. We want to try to focus more on racing the select horses we think can compete for the top. And that's the other caveat I would put in here. If we're talking about horses that are SS- at the top, we're probably still a little bit more tolerant to stars being.
I think if we can really smash some big time grades there, I'm totally okay with sacrificing some stars, knowing that we're really developing it right behind, and we're going to have those lower graded horses to breed up to that level. So I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, the reason to bring that up is, of course, Commandant would not have passed the test if we weren't applying some logic, which is, hey, this is a horse at the top. So obviously,
and also, this is like, okay, we talk about that, but I also do I do think the firm and soft do matter especially when you're talking 2.5+ stars. So this being a 7-star total horse definitely matters here.
Yeah. So the way I would just
from left dirt, we want 5, but if we can't get that, we're hoping for 6.5, 7+ on the total.
Yeah, I find that if we're talking about condition stars, I think it's one of those things where if you have 2.5 or 3 of something, you become like the condition becomes a weapon for you, and everything else it's kind of like, okay, like maybe I'm going to be disadvantaged at the outside, at the 0 and the 100%. But I think in general, like back to the original thesis, not necessarily, like I don't necessarily care. Like it becomes cool. It's like a bonus weapon if you have it, but if you don't have it, it's like, okay, we'll figure this out. And then, we're starting to see it with some of the stuff we've made recently with He's Ready to Gig and others. We're starting to see some horses that are performing well on, they're yielding horses, right? They're middle of the road horses. They're able to hit on both. And I'll bring one up, Taco Mama. So good example, right, Bowser? This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is perfect. Well, also go just back to Commandant real quick though with his 2.5 firm. I'll
bring him up.
Like, just that 2.5 firm was a weapon for him, but he still finished third off preference in the major.
Yeah, I mean, and
that means he was just a fucking good horse too, you know.
It means there is some, you know, like we talk about, these levels aren't all the same. They're clearly, if I had to guess, this horse has heart. You look at some of the bloodlines. If I had to guess, but you know, you never know. Maybe the heart was an uproll. But yeah, let's bring up Taco Mama.
Yeah, because that horse, very interesting. She currently, like, okay, won her first 2 races for us, which was huge, you know, because we won the maiden and then immediately put her into a graded juvie, and she won that. So we right there, I think we feel like we kind of got something. Winning in the graded on the second race, I mean, I know we've been spoiled early on sometimes, but that's usually a good indicator to me that it's pretty decent, because I think most people that are entering those at that point are, you've kind of dialed it in. You kind of know what you got.
I mean, I think like anything else, it's a funnel, and the deeper you get into a season, the more competition you have. But when you're racing in early season stakes or graded races, you're going against either horses that have already won or horses where the stable feels pretty confident they have a monster of a horse. And so it kind of is a double-edged, maybe like early season races can be super tough, but also they get tougher at like, then the dips, and then there's a gradual crescendo as the season goes on. But I think the more of the highlight here was, and we're seeing it like a ton of yielding. We haven't hit soft yet, but you see, one of the things you typically see is that yielding brings out high variance results. Now, the reason I wanted to highlight this horse is that we've now seen consistent results from a horse on yielding. That's what this is, right? Like, it's a range. The condition is a range. And so the weapon for us now becomes, you know, other horses may pop up from time to time on yielding, but we have a horse that is going to be consistent on yielding. We know that if we get a yielding roll, like that's an advantage for us. No different than a fast is for a 2.5, 3-star horse.
Sure. And if we go back up too, with her half star there on the firm, like down the line when we're done racing or time to breed, I'm okay with breeding this into LDS.
Of course, right? That, again, I think that the key is don't focus on the condition stars. Like they matter, but they don't have to matter.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. You know, like what about, hey, like I said before, like it's jazz, dude. Sometimes it's the notes you don't see, dude. You know.
So all right, so perfect. So the first threshold is like we see it when it's born. It's stars. That's a hit. That can exclude you from being a hit. You might not be a hit if you have stars, but if you don't have the stars, it's nearly impossible for you to be a hit. The second thing is on track success.
Yes.
So
now defining that is where it gets interesting, because I would say any time that they finish positive in earnings, that's a success. I would also say, even if sometimes you can have negative earnings and be a success. And I give you an example. If a horse just consistently gave it its all and graded and hung around and was really against tough competition day in, day out and handled themselves, and just the beats went against you sometimes, you know, like that happens sometimes, dude.
So if we look at our best horses,
because this is what I called you today, and I told you, all right, search by our earnings and notice the common thread here.
And so let's let me see if I can bring this in a little bit. No, it's just making it bigger. All right. So this was meant to, like, one, you'll notice there's a lot of stuff that has more than 5 stars. 2, a lot of winners. The reason I brought this up was I wanted to, like, at what point do you stop me to say that horse wasn't a hit? And obviously, like, these top horses that were all great, Dallas Sucks is an obvious hit for me. One, well, there's 2 things, right? Like, so I was going to get, so it's on track success and profitability.
Yeah.
I don't think losing money in your race phase. The only way you can lose money in your race phase and still be profitable is by studs. And so, but if we just put that off to the side and say you have to have made money on the ledger during your racing time and on track success, that's basically means there's probably a win percentage you need to hit. Very difficult to be profitable without hitting a certain win percentage. So what do we think that win percentage should be?
I would
Dallas
say
sucks was 33%, which is like on the high end.
Yeah, that's definitely on the high end. I like to me 15 to 20%. Like usually like a 15% winner is a pretty good horse because that means you're pretty much averaging a win every few races in a horse race on average, and anything more than that, you're becoming plus EV.
So He's Ready to Gig was around 20%. Deuces Wild was north of that, -110 around 20%. DGens only would have been under. So only 5 out of 68 races. We did run it long. The overall podium rate ends up kind of looking okay because it's 30. It's 40% or so.
We did run her pretty long. Where she kind of did fall off a cliff aging wise. So yeah.
So I guess there's
almost 20%, you know.
Yeah, so I'd say it's around like that's probably a good place to start.
Like, Roman Surprise, dude. Roman Surprise has a weak winning percentage, but he won the high court. Like so, if you
I guess that's where it becomes like they're all like it's almost like my daughter's going through the college admissions process. It's almost like you have all these things that can help you. They might not help you. They might help you, but I think certain things can like be like, oh, stamp that, get that in. So like winning the high court, boom, success.
Yeah,
He's Ready to Gig, wins the Derby, success. Doesn't matter. Nothing else matters because you're going to be so profitable from winning that major. For the high court, it's like that's a half major, and also pretty much going to guarantee profitability. If we were to look at Roman Surprise, what do we think with the ledger's going to tell us?
Oh, he's
profitable,
pretty good, yeah, yeah.
And so I think, probably a combination of things. And with Roman Surprise, we end up getting a pretty solid reveal as well. So,
yeah.
Which, really by the way, in the barn for the minimum, Bowser.
Yes, he is. And based on what we're talking about here, he looks like a pretty good value because he's got that 5 stars we're looking up front, the 2, and he's kind of uprolled the stars in some situations. Dabrig's one of these mares that I realize we need to be breeding more because of her heart and those 7.5, that right there. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever looked at her progeny by let's see. All right, so it's been, we got some
let's go back to that though, where do we stop and say a horse is a hit? Like
you're right. We got sidetracked. I think
the side quest, dude. We got to stick to the. All right, so I think these are all hits, right?
Hits.
Go free. That's a great one that we got in a claimer. That's a claimer hit right there.
Yeah, not to get too deep into Gopher, but Gopher definitely was a hit.
Okay, I would say now we start getting into the range where I start questioning if these were hits or not. Well, Winter Solstice already 21.
I know, right? And again, this is one where you start with a peek and it's like, oh no, that's horrible. This was not a hit. This is also, in full disclosure, this was early game stuff as well.
Yeah.
So these were like like Sarah Winchester was in the same season of Deuces Wild, where you're running these in like the undercards, the majors. So actually, I think Sarah Winchester is a great kind of benchmark piece because we've seen her bloodline do some things okay for us. It is a female. Jerry McGee, also another one where
I would say pick 3's a hit. She won the first SGPN Classic. She has an SS minus roll in there, and she has good stars. Like
I'm just saying at this point, we're getting to the point where these are hits for interesting reasons. And like Sarah Winchester, profitable on the track, probably.
Yeah, Jerry McGee's ended up becoming one of our strongest breeders.
And I guess the breeding aspect of a hit is, should that even be included? Should the breeding prowess of a horse matter in the hit rate?
Well,
or is the hit rate just on racing?
Right now, yes, but going forward, probably not, because going forward, where we wouldn't breed a lot of these horses that didn't hit for it. You know what I'm saying? Because we've had more success, we have a better range of options.
So basically, our high water mark as our high water
flaming up, they're all pretty undeniable
in terms of
being a hit.
They were hits on the track, and right, like no doubt they were hits on the track.
They were hits on the track. Yep, no doubt.
And I honestly think we should only care if it's a hit on the track, because I think breeding is all right. It's related in that if you're if you're a champion horse, your subgrades are awesome probably, or you have some concoction of subgrades that are great. Your stars are great. And that's why you're going to be a good breeder. But I think we've seen so much variance from the mares, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it matters though. Cause we're starting. Tamale Lady is a winning mare that has started to put out some kids. But we haven't had the greatest success from some of our other mares. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. We know that DGen's only kids weren't that great, but her grandkids have been.
Yeah, you're right. So all right. So,
so sometimes I think it's just like, maybe it skips like we've seen that. So that's where it gets hard to quantify and factor it in. So maybe, yeah, we should just look at on-track performance only.
And like Bowser's Castle, here's a reason why you can't have hard rules for everything, because obviously passes the star test. This was an A horse and it won 33% of its races.
Yeah,
so
this was definitely a hit for us. Yeah. And if you look, he had just that outlier stamina roll, even though he had a shitty heart roll, dude, that extreme stamina, we just kept running him at 12 furlongs and he would mop up in the soft and sloppy races.
So let me ask you this. If we're being introspective, why wouldn't we only breed hits?
Well, sometimes if it's a non-hit of a bloodline that we believe in, for example, the kid of a hit, so like maybe a couple he's ready to gig kids daughters that didn't quite hit for us, but we still feel, hey, that's a Kentucky Derby winning bloodline right there. Why wouldn't we want to breed his daughters no matter what, pretty much?
I was going to bring up D-Gens only because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like Silver Bull. This is one to watch. Anyway. Yes, all right. So to put a bow on it, hit on the track means you're profitable and you've had some sort of like, whether it's a good win percentage, a good podium rate. Because if you have a great podium rate and you're profitable, that's different than having a fake podium rate where you've lost money. So I think it starts with, are you profitable and have you won a big race, a major? Have you had a sick winning percentage or a good podium rate? And so I think we'll take this.
Throw in like, have you won a graded race?
Yeah, that's true. Like, are you winning? Is your record in claimers? Because you can find horses that have good records, but they're all claimers. So I would say, yeah, are you winning races that matter?
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it. And so, yeah, I guess for us going forward, I think that just means we're going to be a little bit.
It's like we also want to evaluate our current mares, and even so, and be like, okay, what's their hit rate? And then we kind of look at like, if is it above the 20%? If it is, then we keep going. If not, let's look at other stuff. Maybe
here's where it gets tricky. It's 5 seasons of breeding gets you enough of a sample to where one is 20%, and so that's where it's like you have to have some level of reason to be breeding these to begin with anyway to get to that point.
And dude, like think about it like this. Fucking what's her name? Pleasure Dome. He's ready to gig's mom. Like I never would have thought that horse would have produced what she's produced. And he's got a brother now, Hermano Gig, that is looking okay, I think maybe.
Mass start. We'll see.
But he could be very similar in up rolls to He's Ready to Gig, because both of them got the same exact star uproll, and we know that matters in good horses, right? A star uproll is a big deal. We were told this during He's Ready to Gig. I still believe that now. And He's Ready to Gig didn't come on until pretty much late 2, early 3. So I'm not giving up hope on Hermano Gig. He might still the brother might come in here. The redheaded stepchild, and that sister of the champ. That's his sister, of course.
This is the same all the way parents, right?
Yep.
And this is a different dad, if I'm not mistaken.
No. It's the same all the way parents too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We ran it back twice, like that. We ran that combo go back twice after he won the Derby.
But yeah, I mean, again, so let's use this as an example, right? You have 3, 6, 8 kids, and what one has been a hit, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I can make
it's been a big hit.
Yeah, it was the biggest hit we can get. I can make the argument Sapporo Dome was a hit. I just really wanted to retire her for Generalissimo. I think had we ran her as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, she probably would have been pretty good still. I mean, she's got the 8 stars. It's a samurai kid.
And the 6 stars left in dirt. That's nice.
Yeah. So I mean, and the SS minus heart, like
how has her kids looked? Well, just one. The first one's out. Nice.
Yeah. So
all right. So anyway, so yeah.
Season, so yeah.
Anyway, thought it might be a useful conversation. I certainly it's gonna. I think, and shout out to Sowers for kind of going through these sessions and educating. I would say sharing knowledge, very useful, and I think it's certainly going to change our approach to what we're trying to do. So,
yeah, and especially we can be more snobs now, especially in LDF, where we've produced some pretty good horses. We can continue to do so.
Hell yeah. And it is pretty remarkable if you do look at our stable and you do, as you pointed out to me, if you look at the top earners and you notice they all have good stars. Very difficult. I mean, Commandant, kind of an outlier. Very difficult to.
I wouldn't say he's got 7 total stars. That's 7 out of 9.
Sure.
That's yeah.
Just shows you they matter.
They definitely matter. Yep.
All right. So we said we were going to get into some breeding talk, Bowser.
Yep.
And you sent me a bunch of links.
Now with what we've learned about everything there, with how we're valuing stars in this equation.
Well, so let me ask you a direct question then. What would it, from a subgrade perspective, what do you need to have? Like assuming hot crawfish here is a +1. Yeah. A +1, meaning it's a 0 to be an S+, it's a +1 to be an SS-, it's a -1 to be an S, etc. You add it all up. Is there a ± grade that you're looking for to tolerate lower stars? Or at this point,
I'm kind of locking in on the stars. I think we have pretty good subgrades in a lot of situations anyway, but I'm almost looking more for balance.
Okay.
Like I want to breed, like he's bringing, above a grade average stamina and start. So I want to breed him with horses that have speed, finish, heart, temper,
So, all right, this was you sent me a bunch of links. This is the first one you sent over.
Yeah, the first 3 horses. These are horses that we have that we're breeding with. That I think is a good reason to highlight. And none of them really had that great of on-track success. But knowing what we know now, maybe we just didn't run them correctly or whatever. Like there's a million different reasons. But this, I feel like there's a lot of value studs in the game like this. We talk about. Getting winners from random places. And I think this is, besides claimers, this is how you can do it.
Is there, have you run any breed reports that we should pull up?
Not right now.
Okay. I like this. I like this. They're private.
Well, it just like,
I understand. No need to explain.
6 horses to go through here. I don't, that's a lot of breed reports.
No, I understand. You don't want to show people how the sausage.
Yeah, go back to that one though. I want to explain. So if we go through here, it's got very good start. Okay, so that's something we can build around, and it's got good stamina too. So that we like the speed, we like the finish, but we need to work on heart and temper. But what do we have here? 5.5 on LD, 7.5 overall. This is definitely something we can work with. Go to the bloodline, please. All right, law of the dial. Look at it. An absolute horsepower horse, fucking monster. Won 20% of his races. Fucking 466,000 career earnings. You gotta love that. But look at where his dude, absolute horsepower. They're sharp, right? Why did they breed with the dad here that only won 47? You know.
I sometimes do look at this because I mean we say it all the time. One of the ways you can learn is go look at what the other stables are doing. The big stables, the stables that would fancy themselves a business. And yeah, I think you look at the bloodline it's coming from. I think that's probably a lot to do with why you breed with this kid, just like you've bred with sons of champions to try to find different ways into that bloodline. I think it could be as simple as that, right?
Yeah, it could be. But now you go back one more generation. Who's that? Sprinter Sacra, over $1 million in earnings. And see, now we're really cooking here because you even go down further. Mount Ruinmore, 6-figure earner. But so what if these horses just skip a generation in this bloodline? What if that just happens from Sprinter Sacra, Fake Atoshi, Law of the Dial, and then it skipped with Hot Crawfish there. And not Jamal Crawford, former NBA six-man.
And we've seen that before. I mean,
yes.
Frankly,
look what we put over here with oysters for lunch, coming from Lucy Juice, which we know has produced a lot of shit. Got Rose of Zion in here. So yeah, this is actually a purebred Gen 2. If you want to look where all the great grandparents there, if you look, are some of the original Gen 0 horses from the game. So and we've seen like a multiplier coming out of those kind of horses, right? The Gen 1s, the Gen 2s, where there seems to be a lot of variance coming the closer you get to that original.
A+ to S+ on the mom side. So
yeah. And dad's side, it's got so I feel like we might have the next fake Toshi here, right? That this horse is going to produce some fucking kids as well, especially with his stars.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, like, I'll be curious to see how they come out. And I assume we've not used this guy yet because it's only 5.
No, we did use him last season.
Oh, we have one already.
Hills Madam, and look, we got a decent overall star roll, 6.5. We'll take it. I'd prefer a little more there, though.
So this seems like potential.
The mom had a bad star roll, so he definitely lifted the mom up.
Okay. Nice. Okay, what's up? What's next?
We should have 5-hole sniper on the LDS side. Okay, here we go. Another horse. Look, 7 overall stars. It's got it for the grade. Look, this isn't one of our. We're weaker on LDS, so. But I wanted to highlight that we are going to be using him because he's got good stars over there. He's got that speed, stamina, finish, combo that we love. And then go into the bloodline. All right. Actually, we can go. Yeah. Let's go. Let's start here. Okay. It's an Eclipse grandson. So Eclipse is one of the OG horses, was a 9-star original generation 0. That's why when you see Eclipse's parents, it's the weird PFP things. Edgar Allan Pony's also an OG Gen 0, but you see that Eclipse bloodline producing a lot of the top LDS stuff. And the fact
facts.
And the fact that he's that close to him is nice. Now you go over to the mom side. We got Sammy Laherta as the grandfather, coming from General Duke. We know it's produced a lot. Loggerhead was an early LDS champ from YSM, winning over 770,000 on the track. So yeah, we see that A+ to S, this is now gone A+ to S+ with this 5-hole sniper in just a few generations. So there's a lot to like with the mobility, and there's some stars, and we've seen some winning and some of the OG greats in the bloodline. Hey, hold on real second, quick before the next one. I got to go get a pill real quick.
All right. Bowser's going to go get a pill. While he does that, you know what? While he does that, let's look at this Eclipse, which YSM, aka the Evil Empire, who's not really the Evil Empire, but we definitely had some fun kids of Eclipse, including one of our greatest champs, Deuces Wild, who again, this was a S- that was competing in races against serious competition, basically majors.
Sorry, I was getting too aroused. I had to take my anti-boner pill.
That's all right. I was just I used this as an excuse to pull up Deuces Wild, who of course is an Eclipse kid. We were talking about Eclipse bloodline.
She also has 9 stars.
Also has 9 stars, and of course came in second in a Bourbon Stakes race. That I'm going to bring it up right now. I mean, this was not an allowance. This is just straight up a benchmark race, no advantage, disadvantage. And as an S- running against S pluses and S's. Oh man, I forgot how.
And that was, she finished it again though, too, right? Because this was
because this is the other year where DGen's only where everyone ran it.
-1 at 10. We're in the Gallop and Derby. Her first year running in it, where she hit a podium.
Yeah, you're right.
I think she did it twice.
Yeah, second twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first year was season 17. Here we go. And again, yeah, going against, I mean, Sarah Winchester was in the race too. We showed her earlier. But yeah, look at how the times were different back then. They used to do the undercards where it would be just a 70 fleet figure max and a 90 fleet figure max. And it was a sloppy track. We knew we had a shot. The preference stars. You want to talk about where it can become a weapon? You give me a sloppy track and a 3-star soft horse, they're going to have a good shot. Same deal with fast and a firm horse. So yeah. Anyway, the whole reason we got here is because we were looking at Eclipse's kids, and it turns out that we have one of the greatest Eclipse kids in our barn.
Yeah.
And which was a great advertisement, because are we breeding Deuces Wild every season anymore?
No, we've
so if someone
kind of sometimes, like, honestly, if we do well on the free rolls at the end, I'll fire one. But
that maybe could be something that someone gets in a blood pack this season.
It could possibly happen if you're interested. Yeah, let me know. But knowing what we know now about SARS, I think I might have to go back to her a little with some of,
Only have 5. We only have a couple seasons left. I wouldn't mind pushing some of our better S+ blood into that.
All right, so let's go over to the next one.
Next link. All right, let me hit the slide clicker.
One Brunson burner. And we got both of these. If you remember, Brunson burner and 5-hole sniper were both gifts to help us beef up our LDS and LTS. That's part of the reason why I wanted to highlight them, because if anybody wants to send us gifts, we're always open to helping us beef up LTS and LDS. But Brunson burner, I find this one interesting because honestly, okay, stars are good with the 7 overall, 5 in the first 2, right? We like that. We've already gone over. We like that. But the fact that he's got S+ temper, because even a lot of S+ and SS- horses don't have that temper. And so just by having that with at grade start stamina, and then, yeah, he doesn't have the heart, but he does have a above grade finish. And I feel like the heart and speed is definitely something we can work into this bloodline with the right mares.
Did you want me to show off the?
Yeah. So if you look at his grandfather, Haka, from Italian wine racing, over 382,000 in earnings. That's nothing to sneeze at. And look at it. He had the temper, right? You look at Mars, one of the OG LTS Gen Zeros with decent stars, 109,000 in earnings. Pretty good horse out of absolute horsepower. So you see, this was the gift Sens gave us. So like, Yeah,
I named it when the Knicks were in the playoffs. That's where
Yeah.
Brunson Burner came from.
yeah, I remember that. And then, yeah, I got Serenity Now, another pretty decent earner, Gen Zero on the mom side, and going all the way back to 100-Yard War there too. That was a pretty good one. But look at that, A- to A to S plus in what 1, 2, 3, 4 gen. Like that's impressive.
Yeah, and it seems like we've gotten away from looking or caring as much about that as we're kind of smashing up against the top. But it is like it is an attractive thing in a bloodline to be able to push the grade up.
It does, because I think it helps push the grade up. I do think there's something genetic there that's causing this ascension, but at the same time, it's also giving you more blood permissiveness, because when you get closer to the top, not many horses are going to have that at all. You know.
So explain, Bowser, what you think. Like when you see this in a bloodline, what are you speculating exists? Some sort of genetic.
Why they were breeding that A- to that S? That seems like a little bit of a reach.
So you're basically you're speculating that there's something that's not defined in the horse's characteristics that we can see genetically. That is some sort of uproll trait.
Yeah, and it could be based in the subgrades where just by matching, hey, this horse is higher on these two, this is higher on these two, and they kind of balance it out and go forward. Could be something like that. It could, but it could be something more that these horses are more likely to, produce horses that move forward. And we saw that with our Generalissimo, our first SS minus, where his mom was an S and the dad was an S plus, and we hit the SS minus roll on it. Which there's a few of those in the game, and most of those have been decent breeders because they have that up. Because sometimes the up rolls. Here's the thing with those horses: either they level something up like crazy, but if it doesn't move up that much, then I think you really have something. Because I feel like under the hood it really went up, and you don't see it in the cosmetic grade.
Yeah, I think we're talking about one of those. Like, I think the situation is like one of these Russian dolls where everything has multiple dimensions beneath what you can actually see. Now, I like the winning gene, uproll gene, like these or mutation, whatever we want to call it. I wonder how much of that is just the fact that like each thing has levels to it, and so what you see is what you see, but the story could be very, very different just based on what's under the hood of what's under the hood or whatever you want to do. But I think in general, we've had good success experiencing the uproll characteristic when we go after it. So
yeah.
All right, who next up?
So that concludes the ones that we're showing from our stable. That, hey, you want to hit any of these, let us know. We'll work on you with a rebate. It's part of the reason why we're highlighting these. But we got some that I found on the market that I think are great deals. They're all in at minimum as well. I don't think these guys will give you the rebate that we will, but go ahead. But I think these are all really good value, like very good value. Okay, Italian Herpes. He's a 5-year-old. We bred with him last season. I've mentioned him before. Brian and I are both Italian, and hey, you got two Italians doing a show together. There's going to be some herpes involved. I'm sorry. That's just okay. That's just the way it is. But no, Italian Herpes. Now we talk about like uproll potential. Look at this, that temper, but that speed and finish combo. And I really like what he okay. And he's got good stars for an SS minus, right? 6.5 is pretty good, especially with the 5 and then the 1.5. We like that a lot. But look at his progeny. He sold out with 18, the full 18 covers last season. 12 of them were SS minus. Only 6 were S plus.
That's pretty awesome. Let me sort it.
And look at how many of them seem to have decent stars. I don't know what all the mother situations were, but I mean, we bred him with Tamale Lady, who was one of our biggest winners. And I explained last episode why I like this horse, because even though he didn't really win much on the track, there's a lot under the hood on him that I feel like we can get the most out of through our better winning females.
I mean, the hit rate on SS minus is tremendous.
Yeah, right. Like when I was like, oh yeah, I wonder how he did as a breeder last season, and I saw that and I was like, holy shit.
Well, let me. Why don't I show everyone the the breed report with Tamale Lady. I mean, this is, how do I hide this? What is shit? Yeah. Anyway, I mean, look at this is, you can see why the babies are coming out SS minus. All right. And this was the minimum.
That is the minimum.
I'd also say that this was, I mean, they put an effort into it, but
Sometimes I look at some of these and I feel like maybe the owner might have ran out of racing funds or was running low, had other stuff to prioritize. You know, when you're playing homeless checkers on the derby balance and you're racing, you're trying to qualify for stuff. Sometimes you're just going to put one to the side.
well, and you can see it. The heart wasn't quite there, but I do wonder maybe would have liked to,
but
would have liked to see
if we can really pump heart into this. Whoa, baby.
Yeah, no, I mean, and what was which kid is ours? Oh,
yeah, would be like an old Venetian queen, basically.
Oh, this is the filly that I loved this season. Home, I forgot. Now I'm remembering. But I mean, again, this
lady's the mom, yeah. So I mean,
this is where, like, well, we gotta, like, this is where, you know, I remember reading. I don't know if it was YSM or someone wrote up that, like, how to. Maybe it was actually the commish talking about what should change in the game and how controlling the best mares is too much power. And it's like, please let this be one of those really good mares. How many kids has Tamale Lady produced for us?
Just 3 so far. Taco Mom being the first.
Okay, so that's a good start.
And then hardworking chap, we ran it back again, so that's another he's ready to gig kid. So
okay,
he's ready to gig, and then she's got this Italian herpes kid.
Yeah, see, like, this is where it's like, oh god,
we're seeing good star rolls across the board here. We've now, we got S plus on S plus with he's ready to gig, makes sense. But now, and look, and you look at her, just go up to her grade, go up, yeah. With her stamina, that was kind of, even though he won the Derby, he's ready to gig's weakness. So I feel like if we get the right roll between the two of them there, watch out, dude. Like. And this Dogaressa, yeah, with Italian herpes, I think this has potential to be an incredible horse for us. 7 total stars, 5.5 with the lefter. Like this,
the fact that it's a female Bowser, like this is gonna, this
makes my mouth water. This okay. Put it this way: this is a horse. Pretty much, no matter how it ends up running overall in its career, Dogaressa is a horse that we are going to spend up on breeds for.
Yeah. I mean, this horse, even Tamale Lady, looking how Tamale Lady could perform with S speed and S temper, at times, pretty wild.
Yeah, knowing that's S speed, especially in left or firm, that's an easy thing to upgrade in breeding. You know, so
but yeah, this is a great start. As you point out, the star, this SS minus with the stars, this is a nice one.
Yep.
Well, how much would we sell it?
I wouldn't right now. I want to.
Make us an offer.
Make an offer. You never know, and be serious about it. Because if I'm saying I don't know if I want to, you're gonna have to fucking knock me on my ass.
Yeah, we see what the big sales look like.
Yep. We've got big sales on here, so you would want to be in that range at least. All right,
that could be a horse that creates major winners season after season, Bowser.
Yes, it could be, dude. And yeah. I think we might even want to start spending up on her breeds.
Let's do it,
Small Lady. You know, but we'll go into that next one. Okay, I'm sorry to be so horny with Italian herpes and then Bangkok, but dude, hey man, I can't help where the value's at. But look at that finish and speed combo first, right? Like that is electric. I love that. I love the S plus temper, and of course you have good start. So maybe you're looking more at a sprinter profile here. But we got that 5 stars we're looking for on left and dirt. So, yeah, I feel like, what do you think about looking at this one just on the surface? Because this is another one maybe didn't have the best racing career. But I really like the finish and the fucking speed, man.
I think at the end of the day, like there's, access to bloodlines. access to
Well,
championship
especially, like, sprinter
bloodlines.
stack rate, like, having him as the great grandpa, I think is really valuable because he knocks off quicker with the going down the line. And so these ones that we have him as the great grandpa, we'll be able to get their bloodlines merging in the not too distant future once he's officially knocked off the gene charts that we see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be intrigued to see. I think, we've had success with horses that don't necessarily come from crazy winning lines. I mean, in this case, I think to me, I'm caring less about the horse's line when I see what it was able to do. Now, granted, mostly stakes races, some graded stuff in there. Now, what I wonder is, were these stakes, were we running in stakes races here because there wasn't money? Like, why didn't we spend up here? Because obviously, like, we're dropping 93 fleet figures here in a stakes race for a Gallop qualification. Like, let's see what we can do about getting into some G2s and some G3s. Yeah. So I like, now that you're making me look at this, I would say this horse should have won more money. And
that's the thing. And that's why when we talk about the winning gene and stuff like that, it's like, well, you're implying that everybody's running these things equally. In some stables, I think if you would have given us this horse, if we would have had this horse, we would have won more money with it. We would have pushed it harder in the graded stakes, and we probably would have ended up winning more money.
Maybe. I mean, it does have S heart, so there is that. Like the S plus temper, the S heart. Who knows? Maybe this was the right amount of winnings, but I think it's a good horse. So I think this is the minimum.
Yeah, this is in at the minimum. Yeah,
damn. Let's go. Well, I think most things.
Look at that 5-star left in dirt. Like, I don't know. I really like this profile here. This is something you can work with.
All right.
And then last one is actually an S plus horse in the LTS I saw, but this one really impressed me for an LTS because, like I said before, if the weakness is speed, we can find speed, right? But look at the rest of this horse, dude. We look at the stars alone, right? First thing that stands out.
We're very nice.
8-star horse. Like this is very nice. SS finish, dude, for an S plus horse, that's great. SS minus start, but he's got the S plus temper too. So I would rather have the down roll and speed than temper because I feel like we can really bump that speed up into but also the great grandfather over there, Space Negrutin, that is Kingslayer's dad. So we know he's produced some good stuff.
Even the dad is win. I mean, there's definitely some winning going on in the dad's bloodline here.
Yep. And then we go down to the mom side. Oh, what do we keep seeing? More winning all over the place. Like when I got into this bloodline, I was like, oh man, like just everybody wins, dude. It seems like.
So we will be using this.
And like also, dude, just look at some of these like it's not just winning, like they're winning by all the metrics, it seems like, like amount total, like winning percentage, total wins, like they're checking a lot of boxes throughout the entire family tree here. So why wouldn't we want to get in on this? It's only a 5-year-old at the bottom price right now to get 8-star into our left turf, like.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So we're going to be using this guy this season.
Yeah. I can tell you who I plan on using him with if you want to pull that up and the breeding report up. Yeah, that's a good breeding report to run because we're going to do Hot as Biscuits. And when you see Hot as Biscuits, you'll see why.
And I don't see. Have you run the report?
I should have, but maybe I didn't.
No, let's do it live. Here we go. Let me bring up this screen I'm looking at. Yeah, breed horse.
Hot as Biscuits.
Oh, I see why I'm in the wrong window. I'm an idiot. What was it? Ghost
of Lament. There you go. Oh yeah, I didn't run the report. Good catch. Okay, but what do we see with Hot as Biscuits? First off, just on the surface, she also has 8 stars, and she's got the S+ speed that he's lacking.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is a nice match here, with kind of a sacrifice being the potentially the stamina, I guess.
The stamina and
maybe
heart,
the heart. Yeah,
that could go wrong. But if we hit it right and we hit the finish too, this could be really interesting. And you know, even the start a little, if we get her speed into the rest of him, kind of. But I think either way, we're gonna, dude. If this ends up being like an S horse, and we get a down roll a couple spots, the 8 stars I think is gonna play well in the low stakes showdown series. So yeah, that's a very interesting looking report.
it is interesting. I wonder what, I mean, this is, you know, again, we were talking earlier about it, but lower variance on the stars, good. Higher variance on the subgrades, good.
And
So-
I think at bare minimum, we're looking at what, a 7-star horse minimum.
That's what I mean. Like that's kind of what you want to dial up on the. You're right. On the low end, we're losing 2 stars, so 7 stars is the minimum we'll end up with. Certainly could end up with a 9 or a 8.5 star horse here.
Yep. 8.5. We could. There is this crazy dice roll where we end up with 8.5 SS minus. I'm breeding an S and an S+. I know that sounds insane, but this report tells me that is in the range. But a lot of these traits can hit SS, and if as long as you have that ceiling overall, if like 3 of them get up into the SSs, okay, now half of them's there. You know, where does the rest land? You know, you might be able to hit something.
Yes, sir. All right, Bowser.
Oh yeah, we're gonna give out our breeders and college football picks.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Before we get out of here for this Thursday night game.
We got some Thursday.
I did tail your first touchdown picks tonight. I almost forgot to put some in. Didn't have time to think of them myself, so I just tailed your card. But you know, normally we're pretty lockstep on stuff. We both like the tight ends and quarterbacks. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, I can bring up my first touchdowns. We can start there. Since the game is about to start, let's see. I did post them, right?
Yeah. I can tell you right now. Yeah. Look at that, dude. Patrick Ricard, 100-1. Lamar Jackson, 12-1. I got him at 10-1, but I don't mind. But I did get the rest the same. Alec Ingold for Miami, 100-1, and Malik Washington for Miami, 20-1. Let's look. I think I got him at 22-1, actually.
One of the guys who works behind the glass at VSiN is cousins with Alec Ingold, and he's getting married this weekend. So Alec Ingold, score the first touchdown for your cousin, bro. That would be splendid.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, hit the first touchdown, 100-1.
All right. So what
seems like the kind of coach that would hear about maybe the possibility of paying for a honeymoon if we get a fullback touchdown first. I could see him doing it.
I mean, I don't know why. I just had a feeling. I'm not even just complete seriousness. I had a feeling that whatever is going to happen in this game, I needed to have Patrick Ricard and Alec Ingold on the card. Both fullbacks were mentioned by their coaches in press conferences this week.
And we've seen Ricard score this season already. So I mean,
no, he's been out. We've not? No, you're not. He's that. That's part.
I'm thinking of the other guy, the blocking tight end they have.
Kohler, Charlie Kohler.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you got for the breeders?
Ooh, the breeders. Okay. So I put together a trifecta key box. Now this could change a little as we get closer to post time, just because I might move one of these horses that I have in the win and place column right now down to the place show column, We'll see. But as of right now, I'm going to do a key box trifecta, and I'll probably have sprinkles of these horses in a lot of different places as well. But I think so if you don't know what a key box, like a trifecta box is where like you pick 3 horses and you have a bet every, 6 ways, every 3 horse combination. Well, a key box is kind of a similar thing, but I can use more horses and kind of lock it in where I'm just going to put the win line. I'm going to put the 1 fierceness, the 5 forever young, and the number 9 journalism. Now, journalism is the one I might, and the more I look at this, I think I am going to drop it down in the second, third one and just do a double shot win. I think it's between fierceness and forever young. Okay. So then from there, if we think that's a 2-horse race, we put both of them on the place line too. But let's just say last year's champion, Sierra Leone, creeps up in there. So we put him at the 7th spot. And I do think journalism is going to hang around. So we have him penciled there too. And then for the show spot, I only have 2 horses there right now, but I'm going to put the 3rd. I am going to go have journalism, the 9 horse, but Sierra Leone, once again, last year's champion. I think he hangs around and hits the podium here. And then to spice this thing up a little, let's put Baeza going off around like 16-1 or whatever right now at in the show spot, because if that ends up I'll say this, Baeza was right there finishing on the podium right behind Sovereignty and Fierceness consistently. And so since Sovereignty's out, I can make a strong argument for a Baeza place bet even. So that's what I got there. That's 15 total bets if you're keeping track at home. So,
and I'm sure Bowser is going to post those on his social media because he loves doing that kind of thing. But more, maybe you could just rewind, listen back, get all the picks. And if you're looking for a place to get down, we're running with First Bet right now. Firstbet.com, promo code SGPN, $250 sign up bonus. So you play the ponies, I'm sure you'll have multiple outs. There's no reason not to take advantage of this. Use the code SGPN, get the sign up bonus, $250. Help us out, help you out, and get down on some of Bowser's action.
Yeah, so that's 15 different ways I could hit the trifecta. And yeah, I got.
So how would you stake that kind of thing? You're flat betting it, I assume. All 15 are the same.
Yeah, so I'll probably do, I don't know, $5 or so on it. So it'll end up costing me like $75 to place that bet.
So what I
don't know. We'll see how that's going to be towards the end of the weekend. So we'll see
here's what I'm going to do.
A lot more.
I'm going to head over to firstbet.com. I'm going to sign up for my new account and I'm going to get the full deposit bonus, the $250. And I'm going to put an NFL sized bet on Forever Young to win the race.
Ooh, I like that.
And that's really all I'm going to do. But I'm sure I'll end up playing some other stuff. I can tell you that we did a Breeders' Cup episode earlier this week. Highly recommend you check it out. We talked to Chase Sessoms, aka the Wolf of Oaklawn, host of the Notorious OTB podcast, one of Bowser's go-to daily podcasts. It's basically a short form podcast about horse racing. I mean, Bowser, why don't you give it a quick 2-minute review?
Chase and Barry, they do a great job. And sometimes they'll just pick a track each day and be like, hey, here's today's daily double that we like. We're not doing anything fancy. And usually like their Thursday show's the big one where they'll give out like $100 card for a big weekend card where you go, here's how you spend $100 throughout the entire day on this or what, So there's great ways to do it. Their picks have been incredible. I'll say this. I'd never hit a daily double or a pick 3 in my life until I listened to this show. And then now I hit like 4 or 5 of them now between the two. So just heads up.
Yeah. So check out
for like 35 years or whatever. So yeah, the fact that in the last year of that, I started hitting those because of this show says a lot.
If you're on YouTube, just search for Notorious OTB, Notorious OTB, or if you're in your podcast app. And yeah, it's a great. There's not a ton of horse racing podcast content, and it's really great. Chase is the Wolf of Oaklawn is a unique cat, and Barry is awesome as well.
And the Wolf and I used to host a digital pony show together for the other game, so
that's right. That Chase has been around for a while. Big fan of him, And yeah, and Barry too. Like the Barry the Sniper Spears, great, excellent follow on social. Kills it with the memes. We also had Randy Moss, not the wide receiver, but the very awesome degenerate horse expert and
NBC
journalist.
Sports, yeah, big time NBC guy.
Yeah, so Randy Moss came on. Who, if I'm being candid, he seems to actually like us. I think a lot of the interviews he has to do are a little bit more serious. And so I think he likes to come on and talk to us. Sean always likes to bring up how the horses fly first class from fucking Japan, and I think he gets a kick out of that. Anyway, so we had both of them on. I'll give you I highly recommend you go
do it this morning. It was a great episode. You guys killed it.
I'll give you a couple of their picks from the episode on Friday. So for tomorrow in the juvenile dirt race, 8.5 furlongs, a grade 1. It's race 9. If you're gonna go look for it, Chase likes the horse Brant, the 7 horse.
That's the big one. This horse is probably going to be the early front runner for the Kentucky Derby next year. Just heads up, everybody.
He likes the exacta with the 8. He also likes a daily double with Brant in the 9 race. So the 7 horse in the 9 race with the 10 and the 9 in the with the 9 in race 10. So he likes 7 in race 9, 9 in race 10, a little daily double. I will be playing that. I will be tailing. And Randy likes Ultimate Love, which
juvenile
caused Sean to accidentally say Juvenile Love because it's a juvenile race, which means we now have to name a horse Juvenile Love. Bowser, you're on that task.
Yep.
Moving along to Saturday in the distaff, which is we joked on the show that it really does sound like some sort of disease. They both like Darth Vader, the 12 horse.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this horse. Yeah,
that Chase also likes it in some exacta stuff with 1 and 8, but they both like the 12 horse. In general, I would say when you have multiple horse experts converging on a pick, that's a good sign.
Yep.
And Darth Vader is a great name. And then in the classic, they both like Forever Young. So
yeah, I love Forever Young, man. This is a good horse. And also I hit on a Japanese horse for like a 90-1 exacta box like 2 years ago in the Breeders' Cup. And so I'm always going to have a good Japanese horse in my Breeders' Cup action. Like that's always going to be in there.
Yeah. And so my plan is, again, I'm more outs equals better. $250 sign up bonus. Use the code SGPN, firstbet.com. My plan is to load up the new First Bet account and just go heavy on Forever Young. I have had a pleasurable experience lately sometimes I spray too much all over the board and it becomes a lot to deal with. And so I've had a lot of fun kind of really getting narrow. Here's what I'll commit to. I'm going to have that big bet. I'm going to play that daily double. I'm probably going to play some more. I'd like to have some pick 5, pick 4 type stuff set up.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm going to,
on X, I'll definitely be giving out some daily double pick 3 stuff as we get closer to the big one. Like I'm definitely going to have the 1 and 5 in there, right? As that race. And so now it's figuring out the races leading into it, how I'm going to approach that. And a good tip for these big days is just fade the public, man. When you see a horse with decent morning line odds, that if it's like a 6-1 morning line horse that's now going off at 9-1, why wouldn't you want that free 3-1 there, dude? In a big race like this, where that horse definitely has a shot to win.
It's awesome that you bring this up, Bowser, because I actually have some materials. Let me quickly load this up.
Should I give out my college round robin while you're doing that?
No, this will take 2 seconds, and here we go. No, it was so when we pulling back the curtain, we had Randy Moss on. He's now he's a reoccurring guest on the show. I don't know if you remember when there was that big to do when Boomer Esiason they thought they were booking the other Randy Moss, and we actually had him on around the same time, and I think he liked the fact that we were able to joke about it with him. But they sent when we had him on, they sent over these materials about the Breeders' Cup and why it's awesome to bet on. And one of the things they highlighted was literally every type of bet.
Yes.
Pays out more for the Breeders' Cup. Why? Well, there's more good racers, and I think that means you have, it's not
on an average race that you're like Santa Anita on an average Saturday, dude. The favorites are going to be, and most races are claimer races across the country too, to be honest. But like, yeah, dude, and like the Santa Anita Derby, dude, the chalk's going to eat up so much action in those races, dude. Like.
I mean, it's an amazing. I mean, throw the pick 3, 4, throw that stuff out the window. But just the double, right? You're seeing the magnification of just a little bit of a juice there, and even just the win, right? 2xer. So, I know it's jammed in the middle of football season, and it doesn't get the buzz. I was trying to make the claim that for horse people, the Breeders' Cup is as big as the Derby.
No, and Sean was like, "That's crazy," but here's the thing. The Derby, it's only 3-year-olds. You could have 2 to 3. You could have like 3 Derby champions, like a 3, a 4, and a 5-year-old, all in a Breeders' Cup going against each other. Like
in our world, this is like the high court, right? You graduate to the 4+, and now you can be racing in it multiple year after year. Now it's not quite the same, but
there's some prestige to it, and especially like the way the Breeders' Cup works is you have all these like. Every possible like the funnel of sprint, gallop, and stayer like we have in photo finish. Do you have the bet like a world all-star, as Randy Moss put on your guys' show, like a world all-star race?
Yeah,
and it's like the best turf horses, the best dirt horses at all these different distances. So let's find out who the best in the world is. And just a little tip: in the Breeders' Cup turf, bet a European horse. Trust me on this one.
Well, and that was it's. I mean, that's a great note, and I'm vamping.
21 out of the last 26 Breeders' Cup turf races, turf classics, have been a European horse. Just a heads up, guys. And I see Tombstone Mike Sowers in the chat. What's up, buddy? Thank you for the content you've been putting out. Been very good stuff.
Yeah, you're making us smarter, so watch out. We're coming for you, bitch. And I do want to apologize. I have been saying mean things about Jaden Daniels. I know he's a Commanders fan. But at this point, I'm just high on Jackson Dart. Nothing can hurt me. Bowser, what do you got for a college football money liner?
All right. So last week, the one I gave out, dude, was a real heartbreaker because I had Mississippi State, North Carolina.
Oh my God.
And so it did. Okay. So the week before, we hit with having Minnesota and Stanford in there, and that paid wonderful. And we were all fucking slapping our dicks. But man, last week, that was a bad fucking beat, dude. That was a bad fucking beat. And I didn't realize it until after the fact. I talked this out with my brother earlier. By the way, my brother and I figured out if you're at the sports book and you really want to game the system, just bet heavy one side of a game with one guy at the window, get the drink tickets from him, and then go to the other guy and bet heavy on the other side, get the drink tickets from him, and then you get a shitload of drink tickets for just the juice.
Yeah. It's cheaper than getting the drinks.
And then you could, after the game, you could post the winning ticket on social media.
Well, that's you're pulling back the curtain on all these Dub Club guys' plan. That and they use Photoshop. These idiots. Real quick, Bowser, I gotta go. These idiots who Photoshop these tickets and don't even do the math right. It's like like obviously plus 600 on $100 would not return $858. That's not how it works.
One of my best friends from childhood, Dave, his uncle Jesse, fucking every year puts $2 on every horse in the Kentucky Derby. And then whenever the winner cashes, he posts the picture on Facebook of the winning ticket. And you never see it before the race, but you always see it after. And
that's like, genius.
How has this guy gotten the Kentucky Derby right for 20 years straight, dude?
He's the Vegas Dave of the Kentucky Derby.
It's hilarious. Everybody knows. Everybody in our family and stuff knows. All right. So I didn't realize this though until like I put it in something.
Wait, Bowser, do you know that that's what Vegas Dave did with? He's like famous for having like a massive World Series score where he won like 3 point something million on a $25,000 bet or something crazy, or $100,000 bet. It turned out he bet on every team.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of genius in some way. I appreciate the hustle. Anyway,
I remember I did that a couple years ago, the opening round of March Madness, where I just took every money line dog as an experiment, and I ended up up plus like 3-4 units. I was like, all right. But okay. So this is all ACC money line action. There's a lot of money line dogs in this conference, and there shouldn't be with all the cross country travel as we've seen. So I know Kramer, dude, and this is not me trying to ball wash you either, dude. I was not trying to impress you with this one.
You can ball wash me.
This is just how I saw the board for this exercise as we do it. Because I'm just trying to hit 2 of these guys. So don't think I'm handicapping this like some sharp. I'm seeing my spots, but Miami has to travel to Dallas for against SMU. SMU catching plus 360 on the money line here. We're gonna throw that in there. That's not an easy travel trip. There's a reason why the CIA, when smuggling weapons for Bay of Pigs, used New Orleans as a stopping point from Dallas to Miami. So
interesting.
I don't think the Hurricanes are going to be doing that New Orleans stop on this trip. And therefore, we like the JFK assassination people in Dallas for the from the CIA from Dallas.
Okay, so we're on SMU.
SMU, and also they're the Mustangs, dude. It's a horse show. I'd be a fucking idiot for not giving them plus 360 at home. May we add? These are all home dogs. The next one up, your boys, the Virginia Tech Hokies, plus 320 at home in Blacksburg. We know that can be a tough place to play. Enter Sandman, all that. Look, Louisville's been impressive. Don't get me wrong. Brom's done a great job coaching this team this year. But it seems like the kind of game they fuck up going down the stretch when they're trying to make the conference championship, right?
The players are playing hard for Coach Montgomery. I'd say that.
Yeah, Montgomery's doing a fucking damn good job. And once again, plus 320 on the money line, dude. We gotta take that with a home dog like this. Come on, dude.
I hate to flex some CLV on you, but I believe. Let me see what I got on this number. I got
this number. Okay.
320 is what I got as well.
All right. So next up, now we love the East Coast to West Coast trip, right? We cashed good 2 weeks ago on it when Florida State went out to Stanford, and that was plus 650. So we're going back to the well with Stanford against the Pitt Panthers at plus 450. Now it kind of scares me because this fucking freshman.
That's a huge number.
Yeah, but it's plus 450, which kind of scares me, man. This freshman quarterback's been lighting up. But that being said, it's a freshman quarterback going cross country in a tough travel spot. It's sleepy. Have you ever been to Stanford? It's a fucking weird. It's a weird vibe there. But Narduzzi, this is like right. Once again, I think this is the kind of game Narduzzi fucks up when trying to compete for an ACC championship.
He's horrible. He has like these road spots where he just completely shits all over.
Yeah, this could be it. Like I could see, dude. Stanford already got up for Florida State once. Like, why can't lightning strike twice for them?
What's that number?
I got it at plus 450 on here.
Okay, I realize that I'm not building this at the same time, and I need to be building this.
Okay, and then we're going back once again. Another Kramer hate spot. We're staying in the Bay with the Cal Golden Bears at home against the Wahoos of Virginia, plus 180. Okay, this is the least juicy one of it, but Cal's shown us, dude, they can win close games at home this season, right? And the fact that they're getting these points, look, just as a common opponent with North Carolina in recent weeks, both of them went to overtime with North Carolina. And so if we're using that, this should be closer to even on like a neutral field. This should no way be Virginia favored by 5.5 on the road, I feel. So
we're doing always. We're doing the 11 bets.
Yeah, we're doing the 11 all the ways. We're doing 4-teamer, the 3 or the 4 3-teamers, and then the 6 2-teamers.
Are you doing the one? Are you doing them by themselves as well?
Yeah. I got all these. These are all plays of mine that I got in there. So
I'm joining you.
Hell yeah. We're going to cash on this.
We're in on the round robin. We only need to hit 2 legs.
Yep. And if we hit 3 legs, we are fucking looking fantastic.
I mean,
just for the record, the full 4-teamer pays about 300 to 1. So
yeah, I just put it in 299 to 1.
Yeah. So
Nice work. Yeah, I was gonna tell everyone to do the Virginia Tech Cal version of it, but now I have two versions of that because it's a part of the round robin. And so
yeah, because you have to throw SMU and Stanford in here.
Everything made sense. There's nothing you said that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so I put some work into this one, and so.
One other big money line that is fun Friday night is the Rice money line.
Yeah, no, I am on that tomorrow night already, and I was thinking of doing the cliffhanger parlay with it, where if we could hit that first leg the first night, but I felt like that was a standalone. Actually, I have that with UTSA tonight, so I did a cliffhanger Thursday to Friday. So
took the fade the Tulane Memphis look ahead spot. Yep, I like it.
Yep.
All right, Bowser, good stuff. Did we cover everything?
I think we did. Let's catch this first touchdown if it hasn't already.
I think we need to be diligent to listen to our own words about the stars and be filtering more.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna sit down with I had a whole breed plan ready for Monday afternoon to get going like we always do. And you know what? I'm gonna spend all weekend tweaking it to make sure we're getting the most out of our stars.
Oh my God, there has not been a touchdown yet, but it's fourth and goal. The Ravens are like on the 2-yard line, fourth down. This could be a Patrick Ricard, and I'm not even watching it. My goodness. All right, we got to get out of here. Good stuff, Bowser. Yeah, good conversation on the stars. I do think we should probably listen to our own advice there and maybe be a little bit selective. Hit us up if you're a new stable and you've used the code SGPN, or if you haven't signed up yet, head over to Photo Finish. Sign up using the code SGPN. Get in a turf club.
3,000 new stables this week, so welcome everybody new, guys. Hell yeah! If you hell yeah.
We have some horses to give away that can race right now. So if you are a new stable, hit us up. Hit us up with your stable ID, and we have horses that can hit the track right now for you to play with. So hit us up. First come, first serve. At Kramer Centric, at Scott Bowser, but he'll tell you to hit up at Kramer Centric. Good luck everyone this weekend. It is week 2, so reminder: when do studs lock, Bowser? Sunday,
Saturday afternoon, I believe.
Oh, Saturday afternoon. Get your studs in, get them priced. They lock, and then breeding starts when, Bowser?
Monday afternoon, 3 p.m. Pacific time.
It's not the times don't change. Hold on. When does daylight savings change?
Oh, you're right.
Is that this weekend? It's this weekend.
So the clocks go back.
Oh shit!
It'll be 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock.
Okay. Golly, that's difficult. All right. So remember to get
that one. We could have missed out on a second dose of Italian herpes.
Lock in your studs. Breeding starts on Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific. Good luck to everyone this weekend in college football, in the NFL. Good luck at the Breeders' Cup. Literally all the sports are going on. The World Series, go Doyers. Everything's happening right now. Good luck. Help everyone win some bets. And if you are in the game already, like I said, and you have a small stable, hit us up. We have some horses to give away. All right, Bowser, let's get out of here. Let's go hit this first touchdown. Wait, who scored? Holy shit. Who scored? What a sweat. Damn it, Mark Andrews, not Patrick Ricard.
Dude, he's a week late on that, man. If he would have had that last week, I would have had a fucking nice parlay. This motherfucker.
All right, good luck. Enjoy the racing. We're getting close to that racing time. Next week, Turf Classic and Bubble Watch. I'm sure we'll have some more breeding talk as well. And then we are a little bit more than 2 weeks away from the season 34 Derby stream on Saturday. Next week, we think we'll probably go live on Thursday again. Stay tuned. And of course,
Bubble Watch.
Yeah, and of course the Derby stream will be on the following Saturday. Scott, enjoy your weekend. I will talk to you, I'm sure. We have some fun stuff going on the track, so I'm going to hop back into our stable over here. Go watch this Thursday night football game. If you're watching live, we are back here in a couple hours, probably 3-ish hours, with Colby Dant talking college basketball for the first time. Games start on Monday, so we're officially hopping in. We'll get all updated by Colby on all the crazy changes. All right, use the code SGPN when you sign up for Photo Finish. We're getting out of here. For Scott, I am Ryan, real money / digital horseman Kramer. Go Hokies, go SGPN Stables, and go Jackson Dart.
Motherfucker.